Okay. Hi, everyone. Today we're going to be going over how to add a new catalog item to your RSM inventory um, for your rentals or season leases. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your items page here, wait for it to load up, and items are really it can be complicated, but I'll do my best to kind of explain everything and how items are broken down. So on your items page, it's gonna show you all your different models, how many models you have, variants, all of your actual catalog units. Um, so if you scroll down here, these are going to be all your models, variants, and then your actual units here, which I'll go over in a minute. Um, but this is how you're going to be able to view all the items that you have in your inventory. However, if you want to add a new item, we're going to go to this new item button right up here. You're going to click that and it's going to bring you to this new item form. So all items are broken down into kind of three separate categories. You have your model, then you have your variant, and then you have your actual physical unit. I kind of like to think of it almost like a tree. The model is going to be your kind of tree trunk, your base. Your variants are going to be the different branches on your tree, and then the unit is going to be this actual twig that's hanging off the branches. So let's go through and let's make an item real quick. For this example, we'll be doing an Arbor Draft snowboard. So you're going to input your brand, your title, and then your category, which is a snowboard. You can enter a description here as well. This is optional. I find in most cases you really don't need to. The only time it's ever going to show up is really when you're editing the model or on your online orders. People are able to read the description. So if you want, you can do that. I'm gonna skip it for this example, but yeah. So that's your branch, or sorry, that's not the branch. That is the tree trunk. You have your arbor draft. That's the tree trunk. That's the base of this item. Now your variants are gonna be the different types of branches that you have. So in this case, it'll be a 155 size. It's going to be in centimeters. If you're doing a different item like a paddleboard, you have feet. Or if you're doing a boot size, you have mondo point here. If you're doing like I don't know, a helmet or something like that, you can't do like a small, medium, large, extra large using this label button. Um, but in our case, we're doing a numeric one. So it is 155 centimeters. The color, you just say it's brown. Your variant skew, and this is another thing, kind of like the description up here. I really don't use it. It's just another way of tracking and labeling your your different variants. So if you have a specific SKU that you use in store for this variant, you could put it here. In this case, I'm just going to skip over it because I don't have one. Now, these rentable and leasable checkboxes here are really important. Um, if this item that you're creating is meant to be leased, you need to make sure that that is checked. Or if it's meant to be rentable, that needs to be checked as well. In this case, I'm going to say it's both. You could either rent or lease this item out. Now we're going to go into our pricing. So you have your half day rent, your 1 day, 3 day, 7 day, and then your daily tail rent. So your half day rent is going to be something that is taken out on 1 day and returned on the same day. So if this item was rented out on the 23rd and it was returned at the 23rd before, the store closed, that's what they're going to be charged, that half day rent. 1 day is obviously going to be a full day. If they rent it out 1 day and return it the next day. Um, or something like that. And then 3 day and 7 day are obviously 3 days and 7 days. Now, your daily tail rent, this might be a little bit confusing, but what this is going to do is say you rent this item out for 4 days. You're going to charge them the 3 day rate, and instead of charging them the 1 day on top of that, you're going to charge them the tail rent. This isn't something that all stores are going to use, or maybe nobody will use it, but this is for kind of a specific scenario. If somebody rents it out 9 days, instead of charging them for a 7 day and a 3 day, you're going to charge them for a 7 day and then two of the daily tail rents. So say the half day is 20, the tail rent is just going to be 10. 1 day, 35. Um, 3 day, let's say it's 55. 7 day, 130. And then you also have your lease price here, which we'll say is 199.99. Now here you're gonna have your variant title, another kind of just extra labeling option. I'm not gonna use it. Um, let's say this is a special edition variant. That's what you could add here. This variant description, same thing as your model description only really going to show up when you're editing the item and on your online reservations. Now, this universal checkbox here, what this is going to do is if you have multiple stores under your organization, this checkbox will add this item to all your stores. So if there's a store or if there's an item that you know is going to be at every single one of your stores, you could check this universal and it's going to pre-add it to every store under your organization. So that's the branch. And then the actual unit itself is going to be, I kind of think of it like a tree. Like I said, this is the twig. This is the actual unit. This is the actual physical item that we're going to be renting out. All these physical items are going to have a SKU or a barcode that you can scan in that is unique to that item. So if you have a SKU, you could put it here. If not, you can auto-generate it. And then your barcode here. Usually these barcodes are going to be on the rentable item itself. So a lot of rental fleets will already have a barcode. This is where you put that barcode. Or if you have your own stickers with their own barcodes, that's where you put this at. Um, this SKU and barcode is going to allow it. So whenever we scan in that SKU or barcode into our rental or lease, this item is going to automatically pop up um, and be added to that rental. So let's say that's our barcode. You also have serial number if you have one. Um, and wanted to be extra picky with how you're tracking your items, you can do that. And then you have your unit label. So if it's something like an item where you cannot add a sticker to it or it doesn't have a barcode, you could add your label here. Like maybe this is the Arbor Draft number 5 that we have. Then you'd add Arbor Draft number 5 here. Your notes. This is any notes that you're going to add to the item. So um, this is where I would use like if, hey, this specific snowboard has a damaged front tip or something like that. This is where I'd add to the notes. The notes are pretty important, especially on like day to day when stuff is getting damaged. Make sure you're putting stuff in the notes, and you'll be able to edit these notes later as well when you're on the item page itself. It's almost everything. The last thing we have here is this allow alternate descriptions button. So what this is going to do is will act as this will make this item almost have like an infinite stock. So you're never going to run out of this item. So this would be used in kind of our case, maybe in our store. We have 4 Arbor drafts that are all 155s, and they all have the same SKU or same barcode. We don't want to be able to scan in the first one, and then the next time we go to rent that out, um, of the second Arbor draft that we're renting out, we don't want it to say, "Hey, this item's out of stock," and somebody else is already renting it, because that's not the case because we have 5 of them. Um, so when you check this button, this will allow or make it so the second time we scan in that item, it will not show as out of stock. It'll, in a way, kind of create a new item and rent that out to that person or lease it out. Um, that's pretty much everything for adding a new item. This is when you're adding them one at a time. There are many different ways to add an item um, into RSM, but this is just one of the ways, and I'll make more videos on um, how to add them in other ways as well. But once you create the item, if you messed up or maybe you change the price, you can edit the unit, change the title, SKU, anything like that. If you wanted to edit the variant, you have all the variant information. You could edit it here, um, take you to that page and do everything there. But that's pretty much everything. You do have a condition timeline if you wanted to take pictures of items. Employees could, go on their phone, log in, take a picture, upload it here. You also have your item history as well. So if any changes got made to the item, you'll see it here, or how many times it's been rented or leased out, you'll see it there. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.